We have with us David Tennant, ladies and gentlemen. Could not be happier to have me here. David, lovely to see you. Good morning.
It's lovely to be here.
How are you feeling? You well?
Just put headphones on. There's nothing coming through them.
No, but you look good for a second.
I love the headphones thing.
Look like an older version of yourself seen on the cover of this DVD, taking over the Asylum.
Nice segue, Johnathan.
Look at you there, where he plays a nutty person who works in a radio station.
A manic depressive.
That's what I was looking for.
Involved with a hospital radio station.
Exactly. So much nicer the way you. I'm thinking more like of the streets there. Really. And look at young David.
Yes.
Look at young David there with his hair.
Look at the youthfulness. Look at that. Look at these slightly auburn locks.
Was that dyed that colour?
No, that was just how it came out of my head.
So your hair was kind of a mousy blondie brown then.
Yeah.
And now it's a dark. Is it dyed now?
No.
I think it's dyed a bit now.
I think I've just got darker.
You've matured.
I've matured.
That's what it is. You've grown into yourself.
I have.
And we've probably got a window of opportunity now for like 2 years, something like this, and then you'll go silver. Any grey hairs at all yet, David?
I have none. But my brother's going a bit salt and pepper now.
And how old is he now?
He's 6 years older than me, so I guess.
Well, you might be okay. Nothing wrong with it.
He's not like he's not. He looks very distinguished.
He doesn't look like David Gower. He doesn't look like an old lady.
David Gower's the cricket man, right?
Yeah.
No. No, just the odd fleck. The very distinguished fleck.
That's not a fleck. Is nice. You're very flecky.
I've got a fleck. Yeah, I'm heading Schofield land. I'm heading for it.
But do you dye the top bit?
No.
No. He's quite salt and pepper, isn't he?
Yeah. My brother's not quite that far going yet.
But because of your darker complex, if I may be so bold, you look a little bit like a sort of plump George Hamilton.
George Hamilton, the man who does the grills. Oh no, that's George Forbes. George Forbes.
Well, by saying he was dark, I didn't quite mean he was of African American descent. No. Let's move on. And hey, David. So before we talk about taking over the Asylum, which I haven't seen, when was this on BBC?
15 years ago.
Oh, well, that's why I didn't see it.
Yeah. But it won the BAFTA. It was a big deal at the time.
I bet it was, and it kind of
big huge deal for me. It was the first big telly job I'd done.
But look, you're there. That's quite an outfit they have you on in the back of it there.
Well, I was a manic depressive.
Yeah, but even so.
Well, when you're on a manic road, you like to wear colourful clothes.
Did you choose the clothes yourself?
Well, to be honest, that's from a scene where we were doing like a roadshow.
A charity type thing or something. Yeah. But you look a bit like the character from the Fast Show, who's the office nuisance there. He turns in with a bow tie. Yeah, exactly. And so this was 15 years ago, your first big
telly,
what had you done before that? Had you done many other, you done a lot of theatre?
Done a lot of theatre. Well, a lot. I mean, I'd only been out of drama school a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, so sorry, I forget. How old are you now and how old were you then?
I'm 37 now.
So you were 22 then?
when we shot that.
Just a baby then, really?
Yeah, playing 19.
22 years old. And did you...
Look at that youthful face.
Did you get offered small parts did you take everything that came your way, or were you choosy about, were you waiting for a bigger part? I mean, how does it work at the early stages of your career?
You're just happy to keep working, really.
So anything that comes your way, really?
Yeah, and I'd done a tiny part with the director of this, David Blair, who now does all sorts of posh telly things. And I'd done a tiny part for him on Strathblair. Remember Strathblair?
I'm pleased to say no. What was Strathblair?
Strathblair was it was in the kind of Hamish Macbeth slot on a Sunday night.
So it was a kind of like a light, it was an investigative thing, but no one really got hurt.
Except there weren't even any detectives in it. It was a young couple crofting. Around about wartime.
Well, how did I miss that? It sounds great.
2 series. It managed 2 series.
2 series of Strathblair. And what part did you have in Strathblair?
I was Hiker 2.
Hiker 2.
I had 4 lines. And I
if ever you have children, you must name one of them Hiker 2 in memory of that. Sounds vaguely Japanese, doesn't it?
It does a little bit.
Hiker 2. And can you remember what the lines were?
Do you know, I can't. But we camped in a field and I broke a milk bottle or something. And a sheep cut its foot or something like that.
Oh, so you were an irresponsible camper.
I was an irresponsible camper. That's exactly what I was. It was high drama.
Yeah, irresponsible camper. Sheep hurts his foot. And did you show any degree of repentance?
Remember Andrew Keir? Brilliant old actor.
I don't know. I know the name, but I can't place his face.
You'll have seen him in things like Quatermass movies. And
okay. I know. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Tall, very kind of imperious and he was the farmer who kind of came and railed at us.
And did you show remorse? Were you sorry about cutting the sheep's foot, or were you sloppy kids?
To be honest, there wasn't even enough there wasn't a lot of character to go on. I think it was literally.
Did you try and give it a bit more than was required, as extras sometimes do when they're in I remember many years ago, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, my mum had done a bit of extra of something, and she was meant to be in a waiting room at a hospital, and the director said, "Now everyone here, you all irate, just kind of act irate. You've been here for a long while. You've been waiting for a long while." And the camera, she went, "I've been waiting for bloody hours." No, I'm sorry, it's not a speaking part. I'm sorry, it's not a. And she was furious.
Yeah,
she's been waiting for so long.
I was slightly more than an extra, but only just.
Yeah, but did you do any extra work?
No, I never did.
Yeah, because that's the curse, and if you do extra work, it's very hard then to leap into actual acting, isn't it, to get to the proper parts, I believe.
I think it can be, yeah. I don't think it's not the traditional route.
Yeah, it's tougher for people to do that. Now, of course, there will be no problem getting work, I imagine, because Who's put you so firmly on the map? But even before Who, of course, you know, with Casanova and the many other shows you know on TV, you were someone people came to for work, and that must have been a nice situation to be in, I guess.
Well, it changes, you know. I mean, I've never had a long time out of work, which is very, you know, which I'm very grateful for. I'm very, I mean, there's as much luck as judgment there, really.
Yeah.
But it changes the sort of the things that you're suddenly find yourself in line for.
In the periods when you have been in work, have you done the usual stuff? Have you done the waiting in restaurants or bar work, or how have you made
it? I did a little bit of that, yeah. I did a little bit of waitering, and I did a little bit of... I delivered flowers for Interflora briefly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, so how do you deliver? You're in a car or on a bike?
You're in a car with a cab driver or whoever they've...
You don't make the bouquet yourself?
No. No.
That's a skilled and qualified role.
That is a skilled and qualified role. No, I just was in a car with somebody who would drive you around, and you get out and present people with bouquets of flowers.
It's not a hard job. Did you have to sing ever when you gave it, or did you have to deliver a message?
No. To be honest, I think I was still a sulky teenager at the time, so I was just going, some flowers here.
Flowers. Never mind the dead ones. Were they? Yeah. And were you proud of the flowers that you delivered? Were they good? It was a good bouquet always.
I think it was. I don't really remember.
Because sometimes you get one that's a bit half. You know.
I only did the busy days of the year when they were short-staffed, Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. And
you were a fair weather flower deliverer then, really.
I wasn't committed to it as a career.
It was never going to go anywhere for you.
It wasn't.
Do you keep in touch with any of your old Interflora buddies? Well, you might. I don't know. You might make some lasting friendships there.
Yeah. No, I don't. I was marvelling at your Scottish accent on the way in.
Was it pretty good? You're a monkey.
It was. It was like I was listening to a member of my own family.
You're a monkey, David.
That's very...
Stop that Doctor Who.
Slightly Eastern European as well.
Because I was attracted. Nice. He was a very lovely little boy, though. He was a cheeky little, very confident.
He just came into your room.
Just walked into the compartment on the train. And it wasn't a sort of, you know, we were quite pleased to have him there. Just laid into us all, calling us all monkeys.
Right. What age was he?
Dissing his mother. He was about 4. Telling you he'd fall in love with someone instantly. Telling us off for something else.
Right.
There's a lot of... I don't know what he's going to do. Probably won't wind up running the country.
Well...
Well, who'd want a Scot in charge, though?
Steady on, come on.
Okay, so taking over the Asylums out, do you like looking back at early work? Do you like looking at yourself on the helmet, or do you find your performances a little raw?
It's a little raw. It is a little raw. But I never really... I mean, this is 15 years ago, so, and I still think of myself as 18, so imagining that I was even alive 15 years ago is slightly hard to come to terms with. But certainly when you look at yourself moving and talking and...
In 1993...
And when you look at yourself every day, you're not aware of the aging process, are you?
No.
And then suddenly you
That's the terrible thing about being in the public eye, though. Of course, there's a record of you growing up, and so there. But you're still a young-looking man, so that's a nice thing. You haven't yet, succumbed to age, and so therefore people aren't looking, thinking, "My God, you just look like a youngster, but
a callow youth."
Yeah, you look callow. That's what it is.
But we did a DVD commentary for it, and. It's so odd. You just sit in this booth going, "What did I look like? What was I doing?"
Well, the hair there is quite something.
Yeah, it's the longest hair I think I've ever had. It's quite. It's got quite a lot of bounce to it.
Who's that fellow there? It looks like David Walliams.
That's Angus McFadden.
Okay, it looks like, the computer says no woman. David Walliams does in Little Britain. It looks just like that.
He's a very good-looking boy, Angus.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Just not a great photograph
He was
of him
in Braveheart. Just after we did this, he went on and played William Wallace.
Well, you've mentioned a movie there. Let's talk about... we're going to go to the news?
Yes.
A slow wind-up finger over there from Andy. Let's talk about movies after this. We're going to go to the news. We'll be with David Tennant when we return. It's a lovely sound, isn't it?
Frank and Nancy
Sinatra, or Nancy. You could be... Are you watching the Nancy show, by the way? The Nancy...
I haven't caught so much of it this year, because I watched it religiously last year.
This was the Joseph,
The Joseph one, yeah.
Have you ever done musical theatre yourself?
Not since drama school.
And what did you do back then?
At drama school we did a Melvin Bragg musical called The Hired
Hang
Man.
on.
He wrote the book. Howard Goodall wrote the tunes.
What was that? That's a challenge to set you, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's rather good.
Was it? Which one was it? Was it the one about the old man with the young lady? That one that was on TV?
No. It's about. I think it was written about his granddad or something. It's about farmers in Cumbria. It's sounding great, isn't it?
What kind of a song? What's the music did they put to
it was He Is Coming oh running, oh drumming up, our strength hiking, all a bit lame is exciting, oh fighting over the
Melvin must have been made up when he heard someone was actually going to put it on, though.
Been in the West End?
No.
Yes,
What was it called again?
The Hired Man.
The
To be a hired man. Oh, to be a hired man.
And were you the hired man?
I was various parts.
Various parts.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but you learned the big part just in case.